Hey everyone. Today I just wanted to make a quick video on how I use Anki and Mozilla's CommonVoice dataset to learn languages. Um, so the first thing that I'll show is just what CommonVoice is. It's a project that Mozilla has put on where they have people read sentences so that they can work on matching audio to a transcription. And so I'll demo this for Portuguese. So I'll find the Portuguese. They have tons of languages here, right? Like all of these different ones. So starting with Portuguese, I'll use this email and download Portuguese. So it'll take probably a few minutes to download all 3 gigs. I'll just save it to desktop. And then while that's downloading, I'll show how to set up pip, because that's another thing that we'll need. So here are the docs where you can make sure you have pip on your machine. So we can just run this command. I already have pip, so I expect it to say requirement already up to date. So we're good there. The next thing that we need is Anki, which is a spaced repetition app. You can download it from this link. I already have it on my desktop, so I'll just spin it up. And yeah, I love Anki. Coolest thing ever. There are lots of videos on how to use it well. And then the other thing that we need is Anki Connect, which is an extension for Anki that sets up an HTTP server so that we can have our this pip library write cards to Anki for us. And so I've already set this up, but if you haven't done it yet, once you have Anki, you can copy this code and then go into the app, into Tools, Add-ons, and then get add-on, put on the code. For me, I already have it. But yeah, it says to restart Anki, so I'll restart it. We can open it back up. So while this is opening and this is still downloading, my Wi-Fi is not that great, so it could be a few minutes. Another thing that we can do is install the pip library that we need, which is one that I wrote called Spoon-Fed CommonVoice. The way that it works is it goes through the dataset from Mozilla CommonVoice and deduplicates sentences and orders them in such a way that each next sentence only introduces one new word at a time. That way, it's based on a Anki deck called Spoon-Fed Chinese that I really like. I use it all the time. As you can see, it's at the top for me. And the idea is that like each sentence only introduces one new word at a time, so it's like bite-sized pieces of new vocabulary. So we'll use this to set up our cards for a new language. So I'll just grab this here, copy, go to my terminal, install that. Cool. So now we have that installed. We're still waiting for this download to finish. Okay, sweet. So now it's finished. The only other thing that we need to do before we can run this is if you haven't used AnkiWeb is really useful because you can synchronize your desktop app with mobile app. So I'm always sure to do that. But yeah, so I guess now we can go ahead and get started. So we'll see that in our desktop, we have this CV corpus, and it's a tar file. So we can just say, yeah, so we downloaded our tar file to the desktop, so let's just cd to desktop here. And then we can say tar-xvf this. And then we'll give this a few minutes to run. So now that this is finished unpacking that tar file, we can see in desktop we have this CV corpus folder. So we can cd into there. And then now inside there we have the Portuguese folder. So again, we can cd into Portuguese and ls to see what's in there. So we have clips and a bunch of TSV files. So we can look at one of these TSV files. We don't really need it for this video, but for those who are curious. So it's just a spreadsheet of a sentence and the path to the audio of somebody reading the sentence. That's what we really care about. And so now we can just go ahead and run the pip program. So for that, we're going to type in cva-8-h to see what we need to pass in to make it work. So it needs first a path to the audio directory, which is in clips. So we can just say clips/ because we're right there. So that's from here. And then the next thing that we need to pass in is the path to the TSV file, which is right here. We'll use the validated one. So validated.tsv. The lang name is Portuguese. The lang code is PT. And then now we can specify how many words should be in each sentence that we want to include. So I think 4 or 5 is a good one, but this is something that you can fiddle with. Basically guess what you think is appropriate and then check the deck that's added to your Anki app and see if you like it. So we can go with 4 words per sentence. And then there's lots of cards that can be made, and sometimes it can be too much for like the app to sync onto your mobile device. So I usually put a max of like 2,000 or 3,000. So here, let's set the max to 3,000. In this case, I don't want to make a listening deck. You can see that if you add the -L option, it'll do that. But for this demo, I think we don't need that. So we can just go ahead, hit enter. It'll start running stuff, and then you can see in the app, it's already created a CommonVoice section where it's added Portuguese and then reading notes. So this will take a few minutes to run, and we'll just leave it as is, and then at the end, we'll have a bunch of Portuguese reading notes in there. So while this is running, I'll just go back to my GitHub here. And so this is the source code for this pip library. It's all just one huge script right now. And there's a lot of things that can be done to make this better. And so, for example, if you don't like the heuristics to order the sentences, it was done really naively in this. So I would love a pull request if people have better suggestions on how to rank and order sentences. There's lots of other features that can be added to this, so pull requests are definitely welcome. Actually, on second thought, I just decided to rerun this with 5 words per sentence instead of 4 as we had originally done, because it turned out that 5 gets better sentences, which is what we want. And so now this is finished running, and we can look at Anki and we see our reading notes Portuguese deck has appeared, so we can click this and begin to study. So here's a sentence, and then when I click show answer, it'll read it out loud for me. I don't know if that's something that you could hear through the video, but it happened. And then also, if it's something that I don't understand, I can click translate, but ideally, I don't want to see the translation. I want to be able to infer which word I don't know. I want to be able to infer the meaning of it. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I would just go ahead and sync everything so that I can access it on my phone too. And yeah, I think that'll be the end of this video. If there's something that's unclear or you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Also, let me know what you think of this video, and also let me know what you think of this app. Like I said, it's very much a work in progress, but I think it's really great for language study. And so if anybody can suggest any improvements, such as filtering to complete sentences instead of sentence fragments, or ways to improve the sentence ordering and ranking, I'd love to hear them, and definitely feel free to submit code in the GitHub repo, and I'll share all the links below. Thanks for watching.